What's going on, guys? Jacob Ober here. So, as the world comes to a screeching halt around us, the NFL is still starting the league year on time, and with that, free agency is also starting on time. And this week is, the big free agency week for a lot of NFL teams, and it's been very active this morning, I must say, especially for the Green Bay Packers, who have signed two players. Right away in the morning, I woke up to the news. It was pretty exciting to wake up and actually have some sports news to talk about this morning. But they have signed former Browns linebacker Christian Kirksey to a 2-year, $16 million deal, and they have signed former Lions offensive tackle Rick Wagner, who was also a Wisconsin player who played for Wisconsin. He was an offensive tackle for the Badgers back in the early 2010s, I believe. They signed him to a 2-year, $11 million contract, and those numbers are actually unverified. I saw it from an unverified account on Twitter, so take it with a grain of salt. I'm not exactly sure if that's official or not, but it sounds about right for the player of Rick Wagner's caliber. But I like these signings. I do. They're not, signings that are going to, make me fall back in my chair like, holy crap, we got this guy. But I think they're pretty solid signings. They provide depth at positions where the Packers are looking to be a little bit thin coming into next year. So I would not expect these to be the last moves made at these positions. I would still expect the Packers to, be in the market for a linebacker or a tackle or offensive tackle in the either the draft or in free agency or anything like that. But I do like them. I mean, I can't say that I'm a really knowledgeable on both players, but I have looked at Kirksey and I've looked at some of his highlights. I've looked at some of his statistics. He is a very, very solid guy in the middle that can make a lot of tackles. Obviously, we had Blake Martinez who could do that as well, but I'm not exactly sure how good Kirksey is at in the pass game, defending passes, because that's really where Blake Martinez suffered a lot. But still, for 2 years, $16 million, that's a pretty good signing. My only concern with him is that he only played 9 games the past 2 years due to injuries. So I am a little bit worried about the injury history with him. But Wagner, on the other hand, I think he's been injured a little bit throughout his career too, and that's a little bit concerning for me too. But then again, these are depth signings. I mean, you're not going to be getting guys who are guaranteed to be healthy all the time, and guys who are going to be starting every game unless they have a great showing in camp or something, or they end up making huge impacts during the season. But I would definitely not expect these to be the last moves the Packers make at these positions. I still would think the Packers are going to be in the market for a linebacker on the free agent market too. I don't know who. Maybe Nick Kiwatowski from the Bears. It kind of feels like the Packers might be out on Littleton, who was going to command a pretty high price, and the Packers don't have the kind of cap space to compete with some of the other teams on the market for him. I guess I wouldn't rule Littleton out completely, but it kind of feels like the Packers are going in a different direction from that now, which is, it's all right. I mean, it's the Packers. They're trying to, work with what they got, and I certainly trust Brian Gutekunst to make the right moves in free agency. He's got us several extremely good players that made a huge impact on our team last offseason. So I would trust him to make some similar moves this offseason. And, this is only the first week of free agency, so we'll have to see where the Packers go from here. But these are two pretty exciting signings, not, jump out of your chair signings, but still, I'm finally glad that I get to talk about some, sports-related news with the COVID-19 news going around and businesses and everything's shutting down and the sports world completely shut down, probably for the foreseeable future, the next few months. So at least we got something to, be still normal in our sports world, which is NFL free agency, of course. So in the meantime, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. What do you think about these two signings for the Packers? And do you think the Packers are going to go after more linebackers or offensive tackles in free agency or the draft? Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Go Pack, go.